it's Barbie, and welcome to the middle of the road. So today we're going to talk about what it's like to be a man. Get your attention. Greg Abbott has now capitulated to Trump. He's no longer a leader. He no longer has the brain capacity to think independently, and he has capitulated, going against now the Texas Constitution and going against the U.S. Constitution when it comes to elections. So, I also have to eat some words on something that I said many years ago. I actually moved to Georgia from the age of 18 to 20. And I lived in a small little rural town in the southeast section of the state. And I hung out with a bunch of farm boys. You know, I was 18. We all set up at the farmer's market on Friday and Saturday night and got in our cars and drove around like it was a funeral procession around town in circles. So stupid. But that's what you do in little towns like that. However, because I was from Texas, the guys were always giving me a hard time about, well, what about them Texas boys, blah, 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 blah. So one day, after a couple of months of putting up with this, I finally looked at them and I said, you know what? Let me tell you, I have never met a Georgia peach that could outdo a Texas stud. Shut them up. Never heard anything else about any of it again. Right? Well, I have to eat those words if any of those gentlemen are watching, if they're still alive. Some of them are not. God bless their souls. Brian Kemp had the fortitude to not roll over to Trump. When Brian Kemp was contacted and said, I need 11,700 blah, 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 blah votes, he said no. He said, no, I'm not going to do it. It's against the law. It's against the Constitution. He did it for democracy's sake because he believed in this country. Well, the little bitch that we have up there in the state capitol in Austin did not do that. He capitulated. He rolled over. Rolled over and said, oh, take it, master, take it, take it. That's what he did. On this string. So, yeah. And I'm just wondering, I don't think that there is a statute of limitations on things like election interference or in, I don't know, violating the Constitution of Texas. Because if he goes and he has these guys arrested and he forces them to come back, then he's taken away one of the tools that is actually written into the Texas Constitution, which is they can break quorum. So he's violating the Constitution of which he took an oath to. Because he did take an oath to support and uphold the Constitution of Texas. Part of that little ceremony thing that he did. And he became governor over and over and over and over and over and over again. So, Yep, Brian Kemp, thank you so much for doing your duty, for standing up for America, for standing up for democracy, for standing up for the rights of your people to be heard in the proper way. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, we don't have that. Not over here. But while I was researching into some of our Texas people, you know, I did a deal the other day about Abbott being, Abbott's from Texas, but Paxton and Patrick aren't. Patrick's not even Patrick. Patrick's a go-up. I mean, he needs to, you know, claim up to his name since that's just sad. Very unmanly to take your wife's name, I think. Especially as old as you are. I mean, you're not hip and modern and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I know nowadays that men do that, but that ain't you, dude. You're hiding from something. But anyway, so let's talk about Cornyn, because I started digging into him. Since he wants to get the FBI involved and run down our little people, I got to thinking, what can I find on him? So I went to this page called Open Secrets, and it is a page that you can find on the internet. Just put in there Open Secrets and it will come up. And it tells you about campaign finance for the candidates, whatever candidate you put in there. It tells you about who's their top contributors. It tells you about what their finances are like, what they are reporting to the government and such. But it's in a nice little concise thing. And so I went in there and I looked up Cruz too. Cruz surprised me. Cruz actually, so I can get the numbers correct. Cruz raised $105 million, right, on his campaign, his last campaign. He spent 104, and right now he has 1.7 million, because that was 105 plus change and 104 plus change. So he has 107 million, right? And most of his stuff was he has a lot of pro-Israel people given to him. Big time pro-Israel people given to him. That's the reason why he's sucking up on that bandwagon. But Cornyn is a different story. Cornyn, he raised 34 million. He spent 36 million. So you would expect, when you looked at how much cash on hand he had, it would be a -2. But it's not. He's got $4 million in his account. So where did $6 million come from? Because you had to make up the 2 that you're behind, right? And then you've got an extra 4 in there. So that means $6 million had to come from somewhere. So where the hell did it come from? Because it's not in your thing. I mean, what I saw of your top contributors, there's no way they didn't give that kind of money to you. Let's talk about his top contributors, though. So his number 1 contributor is a company called Apollo Global Management. $137,600. $137,600. Then his next contributor was Blackstone. And we know about Blackstone because the CEO just recently was unalived in New York. You know, remember they tried to pass it off. It was an NFL thing. It wasn't an NFL thing. It was a Blackstone thing. They just don't want you to know it was a Blackstone thing. Because Blackstone, well, I'll tell you here in just a second. Let me tell you about the next one. And then the next one is Welsh, Carson, Anderson, and Stowe. And they gave $64,000. Blackstone, oh, by the way, gave $105,125. $105,125. Yeah, $105,000 from Blackstone. So, guess what those 3 companies do? They are investment firms and equity firms. So, let me tell you again what those companies do. Back in 2020, when you were trying to buy that house and you were getting outbid and outbid and outbid and outbid because they were coming in with cash and shit, that was them. That was them. Because see, I was a mortgage lender, and so I know that whenever you come in with that extra $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 in cash, even though the house is not going to appraise for that, the bank is not going to give you that extra $50,000, $60,000, $70,000. You have to come up with that. You have to present that. Right? And a lot of people don't have that kind of money sitting around. And so it was these investment firms that were doing most of that. Yeah. So that's who he's in bed with. The next one was United Airlines. They gave $52,000. But the last one, his top contributor, which really kind of surprised me, was the state of Texas. The state of Texas is listed as giving him $48,000. Well, the state of Texas can't give money to people, especially candidates, for their campaigns. It's illegal in Texas to do that. It's illegal for the state of Texas to give money to any candidate in the state. It can't be partisan. The state itself cannot be partisan. Somehow or another, he got $48,000 from the state. How the hell did that happen? Maybe something else I need to look into. Got to figure that one out. Yeah. So, anyway, so that's that on him. So we know that he's rotten to the core. He doesn't give a damn about home ownership. He doesn't give a damn about you as his constituents. He doesn't care that Texas has already got itself in such a bad shape that was one of the reasons why I got out of the business. I think I've explained this before. Whenever the mortgage that you are paying, right, the principal and interest is less than your taxes and your insurance, now people were paying $1,400 a month on the house just for insurance and the taxes, and then they had a $1,200 mortgage payment. The system screwed up, and I just couldn't be a part of it anymore because I knew what I was doing to people. I knew what I was doing to people. I have a conscience. But these guys, yeah. So you see where his bread is buttered, right? Okay, and so the last thing I wanted to talk about Texas, because we have a huge border with Mexico, and I nearly called him that dumbass. Trump has gone and sent a secret letter over to the Pentagon, and he has gone ahead and said that we can go ahead and declare war on the cartels. Yeah. So, what the hell does that mean? They are a sovereign country. Mexico hasn't done shit to us. They haven't done anything to us. You damn sure like going down there and drinking your margaritas, though, don't you? Yes, you do. I know all of you do. Y'all love it going down there. I hear of my friends going down there all the time. Oh, we're going to Mexico. We're going to Cancun. We're going to Cozumel. We're going here. We're going there. Yeah. Yeah. So basically it comes down that we have got a little bitch in the Texas Capitol, and we have a dumbass in the White House. I guess that's pretty much the thing for today. So, anyway, another day in Jumanji, and y'all take it easy. Peace out.